we're now being joined to explore all possible angles to the crisis at the Lagos State House of Assembly and what's already on the public domain regarding this matter by Mayor Akinpelu, a renowned journalist, public affairs analyst, and keen follower of Lagos State politics. So good to have you, Mr. Akinpelu. Lord Mayor, some of us call you. So good to have you. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's jump straight into it. It's been almost 6 weeks or slightly more that the Lagos State House of Assembly has erupted, so to speak, in crisis. Mudashiru Obasa, who had spent 10 years as Speaker, was removed. And then the first female Speaker, Mojisola Miranda, who was his deputy, became the Speaker. But of course, things have not been easy since then. Two key things. The House has gone on what's it called?
Recess.
On recess,
Yes.
sitting down. And then Obasa has gone to court, challenging his removal. What is your understanding of what is going on? Because people think that this can be happening in Lagos. Lagos, that is like the, showpiece when it comes to, houses of assembly. But here we are.
Yeah, let me start by saying that what happened or what's happening in Lagos State House of Assembly is unfortunate. Unfortunate because Obasa was quite popular with his colleagues.
He was?
Yes, he was. And prior to some few weeks before he was removed, there was a vote of confidence passed on him. But you see, unfortunately, what led to his removal was a power play within the politics of the state. And when he was removed, he came back and said that the process that was used in removing him was not that they didn't follow the due process. Which was true, because according to the house rule, their own house rule, and each house is governed by their rules.
Yeah.
According to their rules, because at that time the house was in recess. So for the house to reconvene, if they are in recess, according to their rules, the process is that the majority leader, through the clerk, will write to the speaker, informing him of the need to reconvene. Then the speaker, if he approves, the clerk will now write members, informing them that there is need for them to reconvene. That is the process. That process was not followed. What Obasa was saying was that, they didn't follow the process. I didn't say they should not remove me, but they didn't follow the process. That was not followed. What happened was that, like I said, because of intrigues of what happened, a decision was taken to remove him. They knew he was in Atlanta because they were on recess. So the members who were there, walking to the office of where the maze was kept, they met and removed him. Constitutionally, unlike the governor that you need to impeach by putting together a committee who will investigate, you will write to the chief, to the CJ of the state to constitute that committee. The committee will investigate. The governor will be allowed to defend himself. Then the committee will make recommendations to a house that the governor should be impeached. Unlike that one, the house does not have that. What the law says is that it's two-thirds.
Yes.
Two-thirds of the members can remove because it's just one among equals. But the process is that the house rule, there is an house rule how the house can reconvene. So if that is not done properly, you cannot put something or nothing legally. That is
so you think that invalidates what happened?
I think so. I think so, because the house was not reconvened properly. That is his own argument why he went to court. The house was not reconvened properly. So because the house was not reconvened properly, whatever was done was not deemed to be legal.
Well, if we look at the timing, I'm so sorry, because we're talking about this, the timing of the impeachment, like you rightfully said, he was away, of the removal, not the impeachment, that's for governors. How unusual is it for a speaker to be removed in such a manner? Do you think that his absence was deliberately taking advantage of?
Absolutely.
Or was it a situation, before he could mount his defense, could this in itself expose a certain weakness in the framework of how it works? And then secondly, I wanted to touch on the key allegations, which was financial misconduct. We haven't really seen any investigation necessarily being launched. In your view, was it just about financial accountability, or was it just a completely, simply convenient excuse to remove him for other political reasons?
Of course, there's no doubt about that. Why I said the financial thing does not really, you see, you can say things. You can say things, does not mean that thing is right or correct. If the house had issues with him financially, that would have been solved, because don't forget that prior to that time, for a long time, EFCC was investigating him. And eventually, in fact, at that time, if you remember, they would say that Obasa had several accounts and all that. And for a long time, EFCC was investigating him. And then they put an alien on a lot of the accounts of the house. Eventually, it was removed. And that was why I said that Obasa had good relationship with members, because at that time, when they had the issue of EFCC, they were solidly behind him. And repeatedly, they were giving that vote of confidence, and they were together. So when it was removed, now it was because it was not around. Like I said, the intrigue is not. It's a different thing if members are not comfortable with their leader. You understand? But there is a power play within the state. There are other people that influence the members. That there are forces in the state. Let me just say that there are forces in the state. You know, because prior to that time, don't forget that the legislature and the executive have had problems. They've had this cold
By the executive,
Cold
you mean
War.
the governor?
Yes, the governor, the executive, and then Obasa is the head of the legislature. They've had problems. And what caused the problem was that the first thing was that Obasa alleged that the governor sponsored Honorable Tobun to contest against him in the last one as speaker. Eventually, he defeated Tobun, but he was bitter that how can the executive sponsor somebody against me?
And that bitterness showed at the presentation.
I'm coming to that.
Of the budget.
Yes.
Then after that, there was another problem. The House suspended the chairman of Alimosho local government. When the House suspended it, the guy resisted it. And the state, the local government commissioner and all that, they came out to say that, okay, this guy has been suspended, somebody should take over and all that. But the governor has to sign off on it. The governor didn't sign off on it. So the guy didn't go on that suspension. So the executive, Obasa felt that the powers of the legislator is being undermined. Unfortunately, he didn't handle it properly, because when there are certain things you are not expected to do, because of that anger that, the executive is trying to undermine the legislature, when the governor presented the budget, he saw it as an opportunity to make a statement, and he overdid it. Because
It disrespected?
Yes, because in the course of doing that, it not only disrespected the governor, it disrespected members of GAC, yes, especially GSC, especially Abaoluchi, who were there. So that particular day, there are forces that are not happy with him. If you remember that last December, when the president came to Lagos, they complained to the president to say, the speaker was rude to the governor and all that. And the president now admonished him to say, look, you guys should work as a team, go and resolve your misunderstanding with the governor and all that. So the rumor now is that some other forces capitalize on that and then influence member to say, okay, this guy is not around, yes, influence member of the House, and he was impeached.
I want to ask, because you said that, the members of the House are happy with him, but, last year he was sharing cars to the, it's been reported
because when you look at, in fairness, when you look at Obasa's tenure as speaker, and I'm saying that with all sense of responsibility, no speaker in that House of Assembly has achieved in terms of infrastructure like him.
Infrastructure in what way?
Infrastructural development. If you look at, if you go to the House of Assembly, their chambers is the best in the country. They have a new blocks for honorable members. They have a new set of blocks for staff.
But that's not their work, right?
No. I'm just saying that in terms of infrastructure. But when you now leave that, when you look at the output of the House itself, there is no House of Assembly that's even close to Lagos State House of Assembly. I can tell you that for a fact. In fact, the only House of Assembly in a country that is independent of the executive is the House, because they have their own funds. They have their own funds that comes to them. But the problem basically is that apart from the crisis that happened in the House, the leader of the party, which is the president, is not happy with what happened. And why the president is not happy with what happened? Because the president's argument when he met with them was to say, how can you remove the number 3 man in the state and not carry everybody along? Because the president was not aware. You understand? And he felt that in doing that, you have created a major problem. And the major problem is that the governor is from Lagos Central. The deputy governor is from Lagos East. The speaker, the new speaker now, is also from Lagos Central. Obasa used to be from Lagos West. So now Lagos West, which has the highest number of votes, which is the biggest senatorial district, does not have any representation. That is why we have this crisis. That 6 weeks after, they will not be able to resolve it, because the president is insisting that, look, you cannot run a state where a whole senatorial district that gives the highest number of votes to the party will not be represented.
All right, so Lord Mayor, before we let you go, because of time, we're managing time, why then is the president interested in how Lagos State House of Assembly is running its affairs? 36 members decided to remove their speaker, whom you claim that you know he had good relationship with them, but then they removed him. Are you therefore saying that this is strictly between the president, who possibly wants Obasa there for the reasons that you have given, and then the governor, who clearly does not seem to want Obasa, because you are talking of forces that removed him? So as this puts Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu against the president,
no,
and where do you think
the governor will
this whole thing
I don't think the governor will do it. The governor, I know that the governor is very loyal to the president, and the governor will not do anything that will affect the interests of the president.
But he wanted Obasa out.
But what is important is that the president is not that the president is interfering in what is happening in the House. A lot of people make that mistake. The president is not interested in what happened in the House, or that the president is supporting Obasa. No, the president wants the best for the party. And that's what I've explained, that there's no way you can justify it. That the party will allow a senatorial district that is very, very important. Lagos West is the biggest senatorial district in Nigeria. It gives the party the highest number of votes, but they don't have any representation. That's what the president is saying, that you cannot allow Lagos West not to have representation, because Lagos Central now has both the governor and the speaker. That is the problem.
So does it have to be Obasa? Why
no,
can't?
Because if you remember, when the president discussed with them, he said, look, what you guys have done is not right. And he pointed it out to them. And he said they should go and solve that problem. Where the problem is that you have to give the seat to somebody from Lagos West. But the GAC member said that the people from Lagos West said they are not interested.
So how do you think it should be resolved now?
Exactly. What's the solution?
What I think should be resolved
is
that they have to appoint somebody from Lagos West
as the speaker.
So you're saying not Obasa, not
Miranda. They have to appoint somebody from Lagos West, because there's no way Lagos West will not be represented in the power structure in the state. Politics is not run that way. Politics is not run that way. If polity is about equity and justice and fairness, then Lagos West must be represented in the power equation in the states.
Well, I mean, we really have to go. I was going to say, so why then did Obasa go to court if it's not about him and it's about somebody from the West? But I guess you made your point, Mr. Mayor Akinpelu.